we have to address the huge problems on the offense for the Texans. And honestly, it's been a problem all season long. The play calling. Bobby Slowik has not done a good job, and today we're going to break down a step-by-step on what's going wrong with the Texans offense. How can they improve? But honestly, the fact is that they've been hurting themselves all season long. First thing we got to talk about, the early down conservative play calling with, hey, let's just run it, let's run it, let's run it. And it hasn't worked. It has not worked. Bobby Slowik kills the offense with these running first mentality. I don't hate it, right? You love to get the run game going. All right, 2nd and 8, let's try and make something happen. But it's when on 1st and 2nd down, when Slowik decides to run the ball, where I'm just questioning, okay, 3rd and 7, when the other team actually stops the run game. When you play a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens or some team that has a good front 7, and you just say, hey, let's keep running. It's not working. When it's not working, you have to pivot to something else. And this is why I don't like the conservative play calling, because you're backing yourselves up into 3rd and long situations, when in reality, if you were to be more aggressive on 1st and 2nd down, maybe a 1st down play action, because you run it so often on 1st and 2nd down, that's where you can catch the defense lacking. And it's been a big issue, because you look at when you have run first offense, you then have longer developing plays because you're in 3rd and long, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 5. And let's just say right now, the offensive line has not been up to par, to say the least. There's been a lot of injuries. Laremy Tunsil has a lot of penalties, and just there's been a lot of rotating pieces. Titus Howard has moved from right tackle to left guard. He's been all over the place. Shaq Mason is out. But the biggest problem is when Slowik has these longer developing play calls, and this is a team that gets sacked more than anyone in the league. Like, you got to be kidding with the fact that you're going to run it on 1st and 2nd down, be at a 3rd and 9 situation, and you get sacked 52 times all season. It's a lot. It's not a lot looking at Caleb Williams, but you still do the math that CJ Stroud is averaging 3 sacks. He's taking 3 sacks a game. Now, is that a stat on the offensive line's part? Probably. You can also argue the fact that because Slowik is taking these long developing plays and he's got Nico Collins on a little bit of a post route or a 15-yard in-breaking route, that this offense is having a problem holding up because he's taking 5-6 seconds to throw the ball. And the reason I'm bringing all this up, especially now in the playoffs, is because this is where you're going to have problems. And if you continue to do the same thing, it's not going to work. Insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. No, I mean, here's the thing. Last week, the Texans offense looked phenomenal, okay? It was holding up in the pocket, especially in the second half. First half, we can say what we want to say about it, but they were pushing the ball downfield. There were some play calls that worked. But here's the thing. We're going to move into the next topic here. So the 1st and 2nd down inefficiency for the Texans. It's been a problem all season. And I just, this is perfect right here. The Texans, 1st and 2nd down efficiency. Average play, they're 27th in the league. They have a 28th in 1st down percentage. They are almost a bottom 5 team in getting average yards of play and 1st downs on 1st and 2nd down. Because Slowik would like to run it and run these bootlegs and dink and dunk down the field. And then on 3rd and 8, hey, we have to call a longer play. And this is just what I'm looking at as a fan, especially in the first half. You had a fumble on the first play of the drive with Mechie in the Charger game. And then the second drive, you run it 2 straight times, 3rd and 8, let's throw it. You can't get it. All right, let's punt. That's just not how you need to play football, because you're putting your offense at a lackluster and where they need to be. And this brings up my next point on the bottom. But the average yards is not good. 3rd and 8. The Texans are averaging 3rd and 8. Second most in the NFL in terms of average yards of distance. Not good. 25 times CJ Stroud has been sacked, the most in the league on 3rd down. CJ Stroud is honestly giving the Texans offense more credit, even though he's not playing up to par. And the reason he's not playing so great is because Slowik, likes to run and run and run and run and run. When you have a running back with the caliber of Joe Mixon, it makes sense. Last year, Dameon Pierce averaged like 2.5 yards a carry because Slowick ran it so much. And that was a problem because you didn't have a run game. And then you bring in Mixon. Mixon's a great running back. He's honestly averaging 2 or 3 more yards than he should. He got stuffed at the line so many times against the Chargers and just fell forward for more yards. But I don't want to see this conservative play calling. And I've seen it in the past where they go conservative, they're up by a touchdown, and then all of a sudden they start pushing the ball down the field. Like, there's a difference between aggressive play calling and then conservative play calling. Slowick there's no in between for him. He's either aggressive, throws the ball 20 times in a row, or he'll run it 10 times in a row and maybe pass one time. But it's just ridiculous. And you look at the Texans' average third down percentage, 21st in the NFL with 37%. Not good. And that's the biggest problem is when you look at the offense, this has to be addressed. And I honestly would love for Slowick to go get a head coaching job with the Bears or the Jets or the Jaguars, or you got the Cowboys just fired Mike McCarthy. So there's so many reasons why I want Slowick to kind of leave, and I feel like this is going to be the downfall of the team in the playoffs. No offense to Slowick, but it's been bad, and it's been a problem all season, and I did hype up the offense in the last video, talking about the Charger game. They did play better, but the defense overshadows what the offense wasn't able to do, especially with 2 fumbles and a pick. And Stroud can't really find any breathing room when he's in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 12, and he fumbles the snap and he throws it. And great play call from Bobby Slowick. No, there's just so many words that I have. It's just not even funny because the amount of just annoying when you're watching the game as a fan, there's nothing more irritating than seeing your offensive coordinator call 2 straight run plays. They get stuffed, and then he does it again on the next drive, and you're like, what are you doing? We did this. It hasn't worked. Sometimes you need to be able to adjust as a coordinator. You can't just run. If it's not working, try some bootlegs, try some play actions, try some check it down, even throw it 8 times. I don't care. But when you have a run game, it's great. When it's not there, learn to pivot, learn to move on. It's been a problem all season long. I needed to address it. Slowick, you got to figure it out against the Chiefs. This is not a defense that's going to take your offense lightly. They're going to send the blitz. They're going to drop in the coverage. They're going to try and disguise you. Spagnuolo is up for a head coaching job, and he's one of the best DCs in the league. You can't get by having a good defense every single week, and I am very nervous for this game after taking time to think about it. I'm confident the Texans can keep it close, but if the offense is going to run it, and the Chiefs are going to be ready for it. Let me tell you, the Chiefs, if they know anything, they're going to do their research on the Texans. They just played them a few weeks ago. They know they like to run it a lot. Slowick needs to come in with a better mindset, be more prepared, understand that, hey, maybe we push it down the field, try and change something up. So that's just what I want to see out of this Texans offense. I believe Stroud has definitely underperformed this season, but that's not anything to say that it's been his fault. Bobby Slowick has put him in bad situations, and that's where the team has kind of fell apart. So it's been a difficult process to deal with as any fan. If you're a fan of any team, and I'm explaining this to you, how are you going to process it? Your team runs it on 1st and 2nd down, and if you're up by 3, hey, let's run it 3 more times in a row, or let's run it twice, and then it's 3rd and 10. Like, I want to see you continue to be aggressive. I'm not asking you to throw it every single down, but at least try and change it up. And if you're going to run it, have some better schemes. Have a couple double team linebacker down the field and actually have a run that can break open, or you have a wham, like a tight end coming across. But there's just so many different things that you can change it up instead of just running it up the middle. Try a run to the outside. Try a jet sweep. Like, it's just change it up. It's the same thing. Let's run it up the middle. Zone to the right. Zone to the like. Just do something different, man. I'm just looking for this team to go out and beat the Chiefs. But you can't beat the Chiefs if you played like you did against the Chargers. You can't. It's never going to happen. The Chiefs are a great football team. And I'm not going to just say that the defense is so great that we're going to win this game because of the offense has to show up. And the way to do that is to try something different. As a Texans fan, I do not want Bobby Slowick on the team next year because of the conservative play calling. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the Texans' offensive play calling situation. But from my perspective, I would much rather try and get a better offensive mind, somebody who can work with CJ Stroud, work with the offense, Nico Collins, bring in another receiver. Garrett Wilson was rumored to come to the team, but it does look like Rodgers is going to retire. I can't wait for the offseason, but hopefully this is the game against Kansas City where you could try and make a push at an AFC title or potentially going to the Super Bowl. But you got to take it game by game, and if I'm a coach or a coordinator trying to prepare for this game, especially on offense, you got to shape things together. You got to try and just get into your book of tricks. Try something new. I said it 8 times in the past 5 minutes, but it's so frustrating to just watch this team. And even with the dominating win, there are problems that need to be improved on the Texans offense. Let me know your guys' thoughts on Slowick and how he's been handling the situation all year. But thank you so much for watching. We got a Chiefs preview coming out. Texans are going whole boy. The spread is 7.5. We'll talk about it. But again, appreciate everyone hanging out. We'll catch you in the next video.